News 19 meteorologist Brianna Mowry. We're still tracking those possible tropical weather impacts, although things are beginning to look better and better as that track updates continue to come out. So Monday and Tuesday are the days we're watching. We could see 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches of rain in the Midlands. These totals are nowhere near as bad as what they could be, so definitely good news. Winds could be 25 to 30 miles per hour. Some areas could get closer to 32 or 33, but it is going to be less than 35 miles per hour. So we could see some slick roads, as it's been a while since we've gotten some widespread rain. Oils have built up on the roadways, and when you get that first rain, they do sort of get a little bit slick, but also water making roadways slick in general. So definitely watching out for that, but otherwise not seeing too bad of impacts. Here's our current conditions of Tropical Storm Imelda. It is becoming better organized. It's now a tropical storm. It is moving the winds are 40 miles per hour. It's moving around 9 miles per hour to the north. Pressure has dropped now. It's 998. It is showing signs of strengthening. It's 55 miles south-southwest of the northwest part of the Bahamas. So it is beginning to make that northward movement as expected. Also, Hurricane Humberto is still very strong. It's very far out though in the Atlantic, not going to see any direct impacts from Humberto, but it is going to play a role in Imelda moving away from us. So definitely good news. It's working out to our advantage having a stronger hurricane out to sea. Pressure 937 there, so very strong storm. So here's the path of Humberto. Again, very far away. It is going to move around Bermuda as it heads into the north. It will continue to stay a Category 4 hurricane through the start of the week, weakening to a Category 3 by Tuesday and then a Category 1 by Wednesday. So we are going to or Category 2 by Wednesday. So we are going to see that weakening as it heads to the north, but it's still strong enough to have a pull on Imelda. So here's the latest track on Tropical Storm Imelda. It makes that northward turn or northward path and then a sharp turn to the east, and we'll follow the path, a general path of what we're seeing for Humberto. So those two storms going to pull in the same direction and actually spare us from the worst conditions here in South Carolina. We do have tropical storm warnings up for the Bahamas and part of the Florida coast, but not expecting any tropical storm watches or warnings here in South Carolina. And looking at that latest path on those models, they are still hanging in the consistency of that thing turning off to the east. So we are not expecting much of a change in this path at this point. We're pretty confident that it is going to take that eastern turn, and it also has trended farther to the south as well. Now, what we can still expect, we're not out of the woods completely. We are still going to see impacts from Imelda as we head into early next week, although they are not going to be quite as impactful as we previously thought based on that first track. But looking at wind gusts as we head into Monday, it's going to start off pretty breezy. We're already getting a little bit of a light breeze out there from that stalled front that did move through late last week, but we are going to continue to see breezy conditions as we head into especially Tuesday. Wind gusts could get 25 to 30 miles per hour through the morning, and that's going to stay steady and maybe increase a little bit through Tuesday afternoon. Some wind gusts could get upwards of 30 miles per hour, especially if you're in the southeast Midlands, Orangeburg, Banning. Those two counties definitely could get some windier conditions over the next several days. This is Wednesday morning, still very breezy, pushing 30 miles per hour there, and we're going to continue to see that wind staying pretty steady through the day on Wednesday. As Imelda does turn away, the winds will weaken. For rainfall, we are going to continue to stay mostly dry today, but as we head into Monday morning, we will begin to see that rainfall moving in. It's those outer rain bands from Imelda that could still bring us some impacts. So here's Monday at 11 a.m., still pretty scattered. We could see some showers, especially in the far eastern Midlands, a pretty steady rain through the day on Monday. That's where we're going to see the highest rainfall totals in the Midlands. Monday night, still some lingering showers. We get a little break in the rainfall by the overnight hours, but then as we head into Tuesday, still expecting some more rainfall again, especially for the eastern Midlands. So that's Lee County, Sumter County, in toward Clarendon County as well, even parts of the far eastern edge of Orangeburg County. That's the areas that we're going to see the highest totals as far as rainfall and the breeziest conditions. The farther east you are to the coast, the higher your impacts will be. Here's a look at Tuesday afternoon. Still some pretty steady rain across the eastern Midlands. And then as we head into the evening on Tuesday, we'll see that rainfall moving away and we will dry out for the rest of next week and some cooler temperatures are going to move in as well, and it will actually be feeling like fall once we get into next week. Here's the latest rainfall forecast. These totals have gone down significantly. Here in the Midlands, we could see between 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches of rain, and this is throughout the event. So this is the total rainfall from Imelda that we could see. If you're in the eastern half of the Midlands, you can expect a little closer to 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain. If you're in the far western Midlands, or the western half of the Midlands, really, if you're west of Columbia, you can expect a little less, closer to 1/2 inch to maybe 1 inch of rain. So the rainfall totals will be a little bit of a gradient across the Midlands. If you're farther east, closer to the coast, you will see a little more rain and a little more wind, but everyone in the Midlands expecting impacts from Imelda still, even though it is beginning to move away. Here's that rainfall outlook. We are all still under a level 1 out of 4, or a marginal risk for flooding, as we head into Monday. This is mainly for areas that are already poor draining, that are low-lying, prone to flooding, and mainly on roadways. So minor flooding, and it will stay localized or isolated, not expecting any widespread flooding from this event. But looking ahead at Tuesday, the eastern half of the Midlands, or the eastern third of the Midlands, still under a threat for flooding on Tuesday, but most of the Midlands will be clear from any flood threats as we head into Tuesday. So really Monday is the day we're watching, still watching Tuesday as well, but by Wednesday, that flood threat completely goes away. So for the next 3 days, tomorrow we're going to be seeing those showers and storms. That chance continues on to Tuesday. We still have weather impact alert days, though, into the beginning of the week. Windy conditions continuing on Wednesday, but not expecting any more rainfall as we head into the middle of the week. Low temperature is going to be in the 60s for the next several days. Highs only going to be in the low to mid 70s. We're going to get a lot of cloud cover and rainfall. That's going to prevent those temperatures from warming up too much, and it's actually going to give us some fall-like conditions. Here's one more look at that forecast track from Tropical Storm Imelda. This is the most updated one from 5 o'clock from the National Hurricane Center. Again, it makes a northward path, and then it takes a sharp turn to the east as it follows Umberto. So we do have a category, it was a category 5, it's now a category 4 storm, but either way, a major hurricane is actually working to our advantage in this setup. One more look at those impacts on Monday and Tuesday. Rainfall 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches, winds below 35 miles per hour, but still gusty across the Midlands. The main hazards we're looking at is a little bit of a minor flood threat, ponding of water in roadways, and slick roadways from the rain. Again, for News 19, I'm meteorologist Brianna Mowry, tracking Tropical Storm Imelda.